This is a response to Clark's spiritual journey. ND, I've been watching a few of your videos, and you're a really interesting guy. I enjoyed watching you, and I'm gonna keep watching. But the spiritual journey was interesting enough to me to give a response. The journey that you spoke of was interesting. It was not altogether uncommon either. It seemed that it was filled with a lot of experience, and it seems that a lot of the conclusions that you've made are based on the acts of people and the character of people. And it's very common, especially when you come out of a religion like Pentecostalism. I have a lot of Pentecostal friends. I don't necessarily agree with their form of Christianity. In fact, I think that a lot of the doctrine that they hold to is unbiblical, which is why I hold so dear to the Reformed faith. But we spend so much time and energy and thought on what people do and how people react to Christianity, or what people base their decisions on, or how they make their decisions, what their philosophies are. And not once did I hear you say anything about who you are or what you are. Now, I could tell you that for myself, I'm a sinner. I know that that can be an ugly word for a lot of people, but it's the truth. I mean, most people are going to admit they're at least imperfect, and I'm sure you would admit the same thing. I mean, just from your background, I'm sure that this is not anything new to your ears. But the real issue is, do you believe the fact that you're a sinner, and do you hate that sin? And that's one of the things that gets me every single day, But the other issue, of course, is taking the focus off of people and experience and putting it on God, who He is, what He is, the Scriptures. Now, I know that you've been kind of discouraged by the Scriptures, and I saw in another video of yours where you said that the Bible was flawed, but you never gave any details as to what those flaws were, or what you thought those flaws were. And of course, it's always a matter of perspective. You have to assume a lot of things to make a statement like that. I know a lot of people will say that, well, the creation of man, you see it twice in the beginning of Genesis. Well, yes, you do, but the reason for that is a literary device. It's not a contradiction. It's just a mere literary device. So we always try to dismiss things that either we don't want to believe, that we can't believe, or that we just think can't be true for whatever reason. The fact that Christ, after He was crucified, that He was raised from the dead, people just say, I don't believe it. And I can't say anything to that. If you don't believe that, you don't believe that. I'm not going to change your mind. I can't change your mind. That's the whole point. My point in making this video is not to try to change your mind or to manipulate you, but rather to consider who you are, what you are. And I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm just saying that what you are is what I am. I admit the same thing. Okay, and I already told you what I am. I'm a sinner. I've fallen short of the glory of God. You have to consider who God is based on the Scriptures. You have to consider who Christ is the work that he did when he was here on earth, in living a perfect life and sinless life. You have to consider his death on the cross, why he did that, what it means to people. You have to consider his resurrection, and the fact that it is not only an amazing thing, but an historical thing, which is proven. It happened. We can't deny that. It's been corroborated in history. And I hope that someday you do come to the faith, because I'm not sure that you ever were there. I do hear a lot of people say, well, I tried Christianity and it didn't work for me. I didn't like this person, I didn't like that person, this church, that pastor, blah, 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 whatever. A person who is truly saved by grace through faith is one who will never give it up. You can't give it up. If you are one of God's elect, he's not going to let you go. And I hope that you are one of God's elect. Not because I think you're a decent guy, or because I think you've got a good intellectual mind, but because life is meaningless without Christ. I've known that now for a little over 7 years. And I'm a musician. I had a nice, full, creative life before I became a Christian. And I can tell you now that my life as a musician and as a Christian is so much more meaningful and free than it ever was before I came to know the Lord. And I'm not being manipulated. I'm not being brainwashed or anything like that. Everything that I learn, I study for myself. My pastor teaches that. You know, when he teaches from the pulpit, or when we learn things in our Bible studies, we're not just expected to know these things and believe these things because someone says so. I don't take the words of man lightly at all. I'm going to go to the Scriptures. I'm going to study it, and I'm going to see what God has to say about it. And if my position is incorrect, or it doesn't agree with God's position, I'm going to change my position. And I've done that many times throughout the past 7 years. So I hope that you're open to exchanging some ideas. I'd love for you to take a look at some of my videos. As I said before, I'm going to continue to watch yours. And I hope that we can have some kind of a decent exchange. All right? I appreciate your time.